ISIS has threatened football fans at the Champions League fixtures this week after their attack at a concert hall in Moscow just a few weeks ago.
The Al Azaim Foundation, a media channel linked to the terror group, released this sinister image threatening 4 stadiums hosting matches, which has led to heightened security.
Let's get the thoughts of former senior military intelligence officer Philip Ingram on this one this morning. Thankfully, Philip, things last night all passed without incident. What's this going to be like going ahead, going forward?
Well, in the UK, we're still under the threat level substantial, which means a terrorist attack is likely. Now, that's not the highest level. It's not the second one down, but it's the lowest level we've been at for quite a while. But it still says a terrorist attack is likely. And the threats that came up from ISIS-K, they were linked to the attack in Russia, and they've threatened the football games across Europe. It's there. It's continuing to be there. Our security services so far have continued to keep us safe, not just in the UK, but across Europe generally. But we can't ignore this threat, and it's up to every member of the public to keep their eyes open and be vigilant, and that will keep all of us safe.
The differences between here and what happened in Moscow, I suppose, Philip, is you see security there around football grounds. It's quite substantial, and every entrance and exit to a ground will have someone involved in searching there. It's highly unlikely that they'll get through there with rifles or automatic rifles or Kalashnikovs or whatever it happens to be. I suppose they could come in and out with pistols, but it's unlikely to be the same form of attack if it was to take place, I would have thought.
Highly unlikely. The access to weapons, and terrorists haven't used weapons really in the UK in their terrorist attacks. They have on the continent. We saw the Bataclan in Paris. But in the UK, they tend to find that they will use vehicles as a weapon, use knives because you can't get hold of guns. But we're focusing on football grounds, on sports stadia. The football fans collect in other areas. So you looking at it, you've got public transport, you've got railway stations, you've got the cafes, the bars, and everything else where fans will congregate beforehand or go to afterwards. These are all what are referred to as publicly accessible locations. And there is a big push to get some form of minimum security standard for publicly accessible locations. The Manchester Arena attack in 2017 highlighted that there is no mandatory security requirements for these sorts of places. And Figan Murray has been trying to push to get Martin's Law after Martin Hett, her son, who was one of the victims of the Manchester attack. Martin's Law brought in, and the government had it in the King's Speech, but with the potential for a general election this year, it may not get parliamentary time to get through. But this is 2024. The Manchester Arena attack was in 2017.
Can I ask you, we've all got the Moscow attack in the sort of forefront of our minds, and the Americans had sort of got intelligence, hadn't they, that this was happening? They'd warned the Russians and they ignored it. Was that intelligence that the Americans got in the same way as we have from this Al Azaim Foundation, that warning? Because I've not seen these sort of media channel warnings before from ISIS, or have I just missed those? Is this a new thing they're doing?
Yeah, it's unusual for ISIS to pre-warn of an attack. They usually will come in the media channels and claim it very quickly afterwards. But the intelligence game is going on continuously. Since 2017, in the UK alone, our intelligence services and counter-terrorism police have thwarted 39 attacks. Since 2018, 9 of those attacks have been what are called late stage. So that's people on their way to carry out something. We never hear about this. So the measurement of success for counter-terrorism police and for our security services is nothing happens. But as of today, there are 900 active investigations into about 3,000 people going on as we speak. And that's not people who are on a watch list. There are tens of thousands on a watch list. Those are active investigations keeping our police tied up.
I just don't know